What's going on, geekers and beer drinkers? Geek and Drinking is back for episode whatever number it is. We got a lot of things to talk
57.
about. Let's go! What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Geeking and Drinking. I'm Eddie.
I'm Steven.
And we have another episode for you guys, obviously, because we're here and we got some more beer. I finally finished Game of Thrones. We got Suicide Squad to talk about. We got What If, and just some other trailers. We're just gonna shoot the shit tonight because that's what we're gonna do.
And that's pretty much what you've been doing lately. So
Yeah, so get used to it. You know, whatever. It's cool. Get over it. But yeah, so our last episode we dove into Loki. We talked about
Black Widow, Cruella.
Oh yeah, Cruella. Yeah.
Some Bad Batch. I think we we discussed.
Yeah, and and since then, Bad Batch has finished. I know you're caught up. I'm not caught up yet. I do love the show. I just kind of fell off for a little while, but I mean, since we're not going to really get into it too much, what did you think of the episode? Well, I put out some beers for both of us.
Oh. So there we go. I'm still trying to get used to this camera. Anyways, so I thought it was pretty good. I really enjoyed the last two episodes, the season finale. I mean, overall, the show itself was really good. The storytelling was really good. I really did like a lot of the cameo characters that came out in it. I was really surprised in the first one. I thought kind of the way the first episode went, that we were gonna be getting a little bit more of that one particular character, but again, it's just all cameos and stuff like that. So I can actually say this because you've seen the first episode, but obviously the first episode featuring Kanan, who's also known as Caleb.
Yeah, who's younger than he was in Rebels, but he still sounds a lot older.
Still sounds like a man.
But from what I've seen of Bad Batch, I've loved everything of it. Like I don't know, the one thing I always like making fun of, but I still love is Omega, because her heavy, what do you want to call it, New Zealand or Australian accent, tick. Like it's just like her accent it's so it's so funny, but she's an awesome character. But yeah, I'm eager to find out where it goes from where I'm at least.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you.
But one thing you can spoil is these beers that you bought, because we are drinking beers today from Thirsty Planet, which, if you have seen some of our past episodes, we featured their Cosmic Butterfly, their Thirsty Goat. And I think we featured a couple more.
Buckethead.
The Buckethead, yeah. And so this is a new one that I have not had. So what do we got here?
That's brand new information to me too. I never had it as well. So this one is their Base Amp Red Ale. It's coming at us at a 5.6, which is not too bad, and a 27 IBUs, international bitter units. I just keep trying to refresh myself on that. Yeah. I'm really curious on how this one's gonna taste. So let's just go for it.
The other night you brought me a triple IPA. And it was actually at 100 IBU, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bitter as I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, I'm eager to try this. So cheers. Crisp.
Oh yeah,
that's good. Damn. I like that. I'm drinking another one. I love when a beer has that crisp taste after it. I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to think of something that I've drank that has that kind of hit at the end. Where it's not doesn't have a bad aftertaste. It just tastes good for some reason. I think one of the first beers I've tried was maybe Stella Artois, has a crisp kind of finish to it. This definitely has a really I keep saying the word crisp, but it's how I can think of it's refreshing. It's really good. It's really good.
I just can't get enough of it. And I apologize if I sound a little stuffy. I don't know why I'm sounding like this. Ugh. No.
And
hell no. Hell no.
I don't know, man. Like, not to get too deep into it, but just like the shit that's going on and everything today, like it's been, for me, mentally exhausting. And that's why I like to, indulge myself into the things that we do as far as like watching these, shows. For those of you who watched our last episode, you know that I've started watching Game of Thrones for the first time, and I finally finished it, and I'm fucking sad about it. Like, I'm sad because I'm just like, damn, what am I gonna watch now? Like, but yeah, I did finally finish Game of Thrones, and after, because when the show was airing its last season, like I was following it. I mean, I wasn't really tuned in to much of what was going on, like, 'cause I didn't watch it, but I was still following like what people's opinions and stuff like that. So obviously, like, a lot of people had heavy opinions about the last season. So, and there are some things that I knew about it. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, if you're like me, you're late to the party. But like, there are some things that I did know, like that I did know eventually that Bran was given the Iron Throne, or he was named King of the Seven Kingdoms. I do know
Bran the Broken.
Yeah, I do know.
I totally forgot about that, to be honest.
I do know that Daenerys like, in a sense, went crazy and killed everybody, and then eventually Jon Snow was the one that kills her. I knew that going into the show.
That was very disappointing.
I didn't know what led up to all that. I didn't know what happened to Cersei, to Jaime, to Tyrion. Like, I just didn't like. So it was a fun ride watching this show and seeing these characters, like, from the first season, and then going through everything that they go through, and then in the last 2 seasons especially is when everybody starts coming back together, and that's what I loved about it. So that's like where my mind was during the last season. I'm like, oh man, all these characters are coming together. You have, Arya coming back to Winterfell. You have, Jon, Arya, Sansa, and Bran back together. I'm like, damn, like, and then, it's just so many. I like seeing these characters interact with each other. I like seeing them either meet each other for the first time or reuniting after a long time, like the Hound and Brienne. Brienne beat the Hound in battle. Arya let them to die, and he comes back, and it's just like, oh shit! Like they're talking again. Like, it's like, I don't know, man. Talk about geeking out. Like, I geeked out so many times in this show. Some of the battles in this show were amazing. I know one of the battles that was like high praise was Battle of the Bastards, which was good. And one of the battles, the Long Night, which was the Battle of Winterfell, when they finally, and it's a whole episode where they just face the army of the dead. And I watched that episode and I loved it. It was long, but I loved it. And then after going back and, like, I guess watching videos and stuff like that, like, people were just like, really? Like, we have, was it 8 seasons of y'all building up the army of the dead, and then like, we're just gonna defeat in one battle? Which, okay, I get that in a sense, but I'm just like, it didn't really bother me as much, Like, I'm just like, I don't know what people were getting so mad about. Okay, yeah, maybe back then they were mad because their expectations were not met, Like, that's become a thing now, Like, especially with WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and like Loki. Like, people have their expectations, and when their expectations don't come to fruition, they get mad about it,
Well, okay, so it's not just, okay, yeah, expectations weren't really met. I'll admit that, because I was one of the ones that did not like season 8. I've watched all the other seasons multiple times. Season 8 was only once I only saw whatever you were watching as you were watching. But yeah, like, I mean, come on, dude. From the very freaking beginning, you get, the White Walkers. And
the very first episode.
You're like,
the very first scene of the first episode.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this looks pretty bad. And, like, they hype them up so much. And, I mean, come on, even in that first battle where Jon Snow is going to the wildlings.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best battles, dude.
And then there's just like, it's like, come on, he even turned to giants and everything.
I love how he just, like, everybody's dead, he goes, he just raises his arm.
Yeah.
Everybody comes back, I'm like,
come on, dude. It's like, you're gonna, hype him up that much, and then you're only gonna have one battle for it? Like, I wish it was in reverse in reality. Because the other thing, too, was with Daenerys' character, too. Like, they hyped her up to be this, she's going to be the one to bring balance and this and that, and for her to make her go crazy because the person that she loved didn't really love her back or whatever.
I think it was a mixture of a lot of things. I think it was a mixture of her losing Masande, her right hand woman,
yeah,
and then losing Jorah, which is the older dude, and then
her dragon,
her two children, and then on top of that, like her realizing that like the people that she wants to who in the Seven Kingdoms, especially the North, they don't respect her, that they respect Jon, so she's just like, so and then also too, like they kept saying like, oh, like the Mad King was like a big thing in this show, and they're like, well, she's not gonna be the Mad King, and what did she do? She in essentially she went mad.
Yeah, so exactly. That's what I was saying. Like they just kind of did her dirty. I feel that they did, like they just hyped her up too. And she's not gonna be like her father. She's gonna be different. She's gonna bring the Lannisters down because the Lannisters were the ones ruling up, the Seven Kingdoms, in Westeros or whatever, or King's Landing, and it was just like, how are you gonna do that? And then like all this bad stuff that they were all doing, that the Lannisters were doing, especially all the shit that Cersei was doing, and then for her, and then to give him a poetic death was that was so disappointing to me. I would have loved. I mean, I wouldn't want to see Daenerys burn her with the dragon or eat her with the dragon or whatever. I would have loved the way Daenerys went out to see Cersei go out in that way.
So like
either stab or her throat slit. I would have loved to see Arya do it. That would have been more poetic for me, more justice, because the main, even though Daenerys, and the Targaryens were one of the main characters, I feel that the Starks and the Lannisters were pretty much the keys to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Because if you think about it, all the siblings didn't come together until
the last two
seasons. And then not only that, they didn't even get to see their older brother, Robb Stark, the Red Wedding, and the mom. And then Arya being so close right there.
And then what's her other brother's name? Rickon? The one that's younger than Bran, the one that got killed by Ramsay. I'm like, damn. I was like, no shit.
So it's like,
I don't know, man. The whole Cersei and Jaime thing, I liked it. I liked it. Like,
I'm not saying anything bad about it. Like, it's just, but I'm just saying, like, to give them that, all the shit that they did to everybody, and then.
But it was also really, really like shocking and just like to watch when Khaleesi is flying through the city, burning everything, and Cersei's just not giving up, and at a certain point, like her maesters are like, dude, like they already breached the Red Keep, like they're here, and she starts crying. I'm like, damn, like she's getting beat, like she's beat, like I've never seen. I mean, yeah, there have been times where you've seen Cersei beat when she got put in shamed. Oh, that was too. But like
her atonement.
Yes, like and then for her just oh man, like yeah, Cersei is one of the characters that like I hated, but then like her last scene, with Jaime, and like she's scared, and like it's one of the first times you've seen her scared, and like, and then it even adds to that when Brienne is, because obviously like Brienne and Jaime end up having a relationship, and Jaime goes back to Cersei because that's his sister, that's his love, that's his queen, and then at the end where Brienne's like writing the rest of his story in the book. And the last thing she wrote, he died protecting his queen. I'm like, damn, like that's.
See, but that's what I'm just saying though. The only one that got what he deserved was Joffrey. Like he's the one that got killed and was like, when. So I know you knew kind of what was gonna happen with that, but when I first saw it, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I like literally cheered like if I was cheering for a game. I was like, hell yeah. Whoa, like just cheering, and people like I remember people were like, "What the fuck?" Is this?
So like I said, like a lot of stuff I knew what was gonna happen. I knew Joffrey got poisoned, like before watching the show. I knew about the Red Wedding because I remember when we were watching Walking Dead and the whole Negan killing everybody scene. that was always compared to the Red Wedding, like as far as like shock factor, you know, like people didn't expect that to happen. So I was like, what's this whole Red Wedding about? So I remember back then I was like, I looked it up and I was like, oh, well, I don't know what's going on, but that's pretty crazy. So when it actually happened, I was like, oh, okay. What were some things that, for you watching the show as it was being aired, like took you by surprise? Like, what were some of the things that took you, like, just like knocked you on your ass? You're like, what the hell just happened? If you can remember.
God, I mean, there was a lot of stuff, but at the time, I mean, that was
so long, right?
Yeah. What they did to what's his name? Killjoy.
Theon.
Theon. You know, that was a little surprising.
Which one? Which part? The way he dies? Or?
No, the way they betrayed him, and you know, all of a sudden, you know, he was Reek.
Oh yeah, that was rough, dude.
What else? I was actually surprised how much they used Peter Dinklage character and how he kind of redeemed himself like throughout the whole.
If you watch the show, the last season, he's the main, the head, the first one they name as credits. Peter Dinklage, he's like the star of the show. I'm like, damn, like man,
everything that was going on with Jon Snow, Kit Harington's character, I was not surprised with. I know they were trying so hard to also factor him as
a Targaryen,
one of the main characters. Like,
yeah.
One of the main characters in the show, and like everyone else kind of being the supporting character. But yeah, a lot of things that I mean, especially I knew, like, not even knowing from the get go, but I knew what was gonna happen when like he died when the Night's Watch.
See, the thing is, like, I remember when that happened too, because again, parallels to The Walking Dead, when Glenn was killed, but he wasn't killed. Remember?
Yeah.
I remember people were so pissed about that. I remember people being pissed about the Jon Snow thing. They're like, they killed Jon Snow? And then it came back, and like I remember hearing about that. And so I was like, but when it happened, when I was watching, I'm like, oh shit. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
I guess one of the big things was them pulling the dragon out and the Night King resurrecting it as his own. I think that was kind of like, oh shit. Like, okay.
That was pretty. What about, how do you feel about the whole Arya being the one killing the Night King?
And that was going to be my next thing. I was going to say that Arya being the one killing the Night King was a little bit surprising because everybody obviously knew or assumed that it was going to be Jon Snow because, you know, he had already seen him, was aware of them, trying to get people together to fight against him and this and that. So, again, I think towards the end they were kind of like trying not to be predictable, but we're predictable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know, man. Like, I mean, going, like I said, starting from the beginning, watching the show all the way, like, and like now I finished it. Like, I'm just like, damn, that was a fucking good show. Like
now, if I'm gonna say, you know, as far as event or as far as characters, I was surprised at a lot of characters who survived.
Yeah, me too. Because I remember Game of Thrones had this reputation of like, oh, they kill everybody, and so I was waiting for like Samwell to die. I was waiting for like Grey Worm to die. I was waiting for like just many people to die. I'm like, oh, so they're not gonna die. I mean, I'm happy they're not dying, but I'm like, where's the shock factor? Like I think one of the most shocking deaths to me was probably.
Oh, another satisfying death for me was Littlefinger.
Oh yeah, that was shocking to me. That one was shocking. I didn't know about that when she was all like, because you have Arya and she's talking to. Now you have Sansa talking to Arya and she's like, "You're being charged with this." I'm like, "What do you mean she's being charged with this? She didn't do anything." She's all a Littlefinger. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" And he's all like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, I always fucking hated him. So like. And then it was even more like cool that just Arya just goes and just slits his throat, just walks away. I'm like, fuck yeah, like, oh, that was so cool. But yeah, Littlefinger's death, Varys' death, the bald guy, that was pretty shocking to me.
Which one?
Varys, the bald guy, the one that has.
Oh yeah. That one was shocking to me. I was also surprised to see Davos survive the whole thing.
Yeah, Davos, and then Jorah too. Like when he was dying, I was like, damn, that's rough. I also loved the Hound versus the Mountain.
Yeah, that one
Because at first, cause he was like about to crush his head. I'm like, no, and he stabs him in the face. I'm like, damn, and then he just tackles him off the. It was pretty good, but like, man, I'm like,
what was Daenerys's soldiers? The main soldier,
the Unsullied,
yeah. But what was the main guy?
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm.
Yeah,
yeah. I was surprised that he.
Yeah, I was surprised he
went on, and I felt more bad for his character than anyone else's character. He got it the worst, dude.
He lost everybody.
He lost his love. He lost his queen.
Yeah.
He lost his country.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
even though they're like, oh, well, there's some land, you can go have it. And it's like that doesn't matter, you know. Like we need justice. It's like, dude, this guy got it bad, dude. I felt more bad for him than any other character.
Also,
and then the other thing too is like just to go for it to end, just to go right back to where it started.
Where Jon Snow is going to the wall. I hated that. And Sansa was all like, we're going to remain independent.
Yeah.
I'm like, your brother's the king. Like, there's a Stark on the throne. Like, how are you going to be like so on your little... Like, that just proves the point that all she wanted was a fucking crown.
Yeah.
That just proves that point. Like, Sansa... Ugh.
I did, and the other one too, and she was always my favorite character, was Arya. I loved the way she went, and I still say to this day that they could still do a spin-off on her character.
That would be fucking cool.
Her adventures.
Yes, that would be cool. Like
because they could do so much with it.
Because she's going west of Westeros, you know, like beyond the maps. I'm like, damn.
And that's what everyone kind of thought. Like, oh, there's gonna be an Arya spin-off because she was a real popular character, and she really developed. The only one thing I hated, and I don't know how you felt about it, but it was just the
sex scene.
Yes. So
again,
terrible.
I remember back when
I
was airing. People were like, "That's like watching my little sister." Like,
it's gross. Like, I mean, nothing to the actress herself, to Macy Williams, but it's just like the character itself. We saw her from a kid, growing up, and then for them to do that, I was like, no.
At least though, she wasn't like put in a situation where she was raped or anything.
Yeah,
that would have been far more worse. Like, she actually was making love with Gendry.
But okay, if they were gonna have her do a love scene, maybe not just show it, just give the idea, like, and then kind of like
show her butt,
like fade away. You know what I'm saying? Though, like her kissing. Gendry, and then like it goes off, and then obviously we know what they did. That's it. Like no, like they don't have to show it. Dude. Like fuck. Ugh. Ugh.
I mean, I was just like, okay, all right, get it. I was like, get it.
Oh, and then the other ones too that I was real pissed off that they just pretty much, like, they were supposed to be badasses and they just pretty much killed them, was the mom with the daughters.
Oh yeah, the 3 daughters.
Yeah, they were so badass. Like, they were so badass. And then
there was that. I'm sorry, but there was that one scene where they're like in the cell, next to Bronn, and she's like, "Who's the hot?" I'm like, "You're pretty hot though." And I was because I remember she kept asking him, "Who's the hottest woman?" He goes, "He's all you are." I was like, "Yes." And then that too, the whole Bronn, because
I was surprised him too.
Like Cersei, like gave him the crossbow to like go and kill. Her maester gave him the crossbow to go kill the brothers, and he just like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna see what happens after the war. I'm like, what? Like, he's like one of the coolest. He's the one who shot a fucking dragon. Like, and then the whole Jon Snow being a Targaryen storyline had potential, but they just swept it under the rug. Like, because they're like, oh, no one has to find out. Okay, now what people are starting to find out. Okay, well, now he's arrested and, whatever. Like, he killed the queen. And like, no, like, how y'all just going to brush over that? Like,
and they skipped so many, like, they went through so many time, like, fast forwards. Because, like, after he killed Daenerys, it was like 3 weeks later or something like that.
Also, too, like, because a lot of shows do this thing in the last season where they like, oh, this is 5 years later. Like, and I hate that so much. So I'm glad Game of Thrones did not do that. Granted, you said, like you said, the last episode did fast forward like 3 weeks later.
Last episode kind of felt like the last 30 minutes or hour, whatever it felt like. It felt more like 2 hours of Lord of the Rings. Return of the King with every single ending, like giving everyone a fucking ending.
Mm-hmm. But overall, Man, I love this show. Like, I can't wait to go back and just watch it some more. I really, really want to build up my my knowledge on this whole like franchise or this whole property, because like even now, like I like some of the names sound so much alike. Like you got Cersei, Sansa, you got Tyrion, and you got
Bran,
yeah, and you got Tyrion and his dad's name Tyrell or
Tyro, I don't know.
Yeah, but like, and then you got the Tyrells and you got the Tullys, and then I'm just like, there's so many like.
Oh, the other thing I didn't like too was the ending they gave the red
Oh, the Red Woman.
the red woman.
Really?
I didn't really like that.
I thought it was. I mean, because
I think she would have still had some more potential going on.
dude, she was pretty cool. She was like telling them to raise the weapons. I'm like, oh shit! And she put them on fire. I'm like, oh shit! And then that's just pretty cool.
And then I was really sad to see that one guy died. The one that would bring the one with the eye patch always back to life.
Oh yeah. Dude, he died pretty cool though. Like he was just like, oh, I'm gonna take it. Like, ugh. And then
I guess one of the things I really, really liked was when they were all stuck on that ice island. And
dude,
fucking Hound throws a fucking rock, whatever, and they see that it's like.
They're like,
and then they go like, oh my god! And
see, that's the thing. Like they've had at that point, they've had several battles with the undead. They've had that battle where Jon is with the wildlings fighting the undead. They had that one where they're on the little rock fighting the undead. So there's kind of like this sense of like how easy they are to kill, because with the long night battle, those things were coming like a wave. And also the one complaint I have about the long night battle. Too fucking dark. I couldn't see shit.
Yeah, I couldn't see
shit. Damn. I was on TV. I'm like, is there brightness on this thing?
Yeah, like, even when we first saw it, we like had all the lights off and it just was dark as fuck. I was like, what the fuck am I looking
I can't
at?
even see anything.
I'm glad I saw it before I lost my sight.
But I'm gonna grab another one.
Yeah, give me one too, please.
Which one do you want?
Either one.
Yeah. So so that's why I guess it didn't really bother me as much as like them having one episode with the Night King and the army, like them defeating in one episode, because I was like, well, I mean, they kind of established that like they're not easy to beat, but they're like, you know, they go down with this swift.
I mean, come on, how did you feel when like they thought they had the battle won, and then all of a sudden they just brought everybody back?
Yes, when after Daenerys like engulfed the Night King with the flames and he's still standing there, and then Jon's right at him, he just turns around, he's all like, I was like, no fucking way, everybody they just killed is gonna come back to. I was like, oh my god, dude. And then just seeing everybody battling and everything, and then you got fucking Bran just sitting there looking like an idiot. that's one thing too. Like
stare.
I like like Bran's whole storyline with the whole three-eyed raven thing. I did not like it, but I also.
How did you feel about Hodor?
Dude, that's probably the first like thing I cried at. Like the whole hold the door thing, I'm like, okay, that's a little. But like when it actually shows him dying, I'm like, no, like no. Yeah. I mean, dude, like I could go on and on about this show. Like it was really good. You know, like you know, if you're down to like rewatch it again, I'll fucking rewatch that shit. Like that, it was just really good. Like,
I mean, we rewatch everything else. I've been rewatching Silicon Valley and The Office. And
that's true. Entourage.
You've been rewatching Entourage, even though you hate the last season.
Yeah. Hey, the last season is nothing compared to the movie. The movie is ugh.
I still couldn't tell you what the movie was. I only seen the movie once, maybe twice, but for sure once.
Yeah, the movie is just so like uncharacteristic.
I think I've only seen it in theaters. I have the Blu-ray, and I still never even watched the Blu-ray.
Like the movie is the first time you see E in a sex scene, like an actual sex scene, like where he's actually banging somebody. Like we've always had E like afterwards, like sitting in the, and we just get a complete 80s shift
where he just feels shame of himself.
Yes, but in this one you actually see him banging someone. Like that's weird. And then you get Turtle with Ronda Rousey. I'm like, I don't believe that.
I mean, it was even hard to believe he got what's her name, Jamie
Lynn Sigler.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think I want to start The Sopranos. I know you tried starting it.
Not that I had tried. I did start it. It's just like a lot of other shit already came out too. So like Ted Lasso second season started, so I've been watching that. Third season of Titans started, which is really good. It's starting off much stronger than the first two seasons. I love Red Hood. I just don't like the actor
Red
so
Hood's
much.
in it?
Yeah. I'm just not that big of the actor that's in it because he just kind of has like a girl voice. I'm sorry, but he kind of does. you know, after watching Under the Red Hood, the Batman animated.
Yeah, he's pretty badass.
And he has like a dark, heavy voice and everything. And then like this one, who plays Jason Todd, is also who becomes Red Hood, and what is his name? Kieran Walters is the actor's name, and he just has a real soft voice, real light voice.
It's not intimidating.
It's not intimidating at all. So when he has the mask on, it's like okay.
Yeah, how's his like fighting or
the
like,
fighting's really good. The fighting is actually really really good.
I gotta get back.
But then when like he takes off his mask, like hey guys, I got the. I was like, dude, put the mask back on, bro. Come on. It's just like, ugh.
It's like the first time you saw Kylo Ren without his mask, you're like, oh, that's him?
Yeah. No offense, Adam Driver, but
yeah, I mean, your voice is all there, but you look like a pretty boy.
Yeah. So I mean, it's starting off really good. I
gotta get back into it.
So they did the premiere with 3 episodes. So like the first 3 episodes are on HBO Max, which Titans is on HBO Max. Man, there's a real sad scene in it. Excuse me. I mean, the second season ended pretty sad as it was, and then the way this one kind of went too, I was like, oh, dude, they got rid of spoilers. They kind of got rid of a character that was one of my faves, and I was like, oh no.
I mean, do they at least redeem Starfire? Because in the first season, I'm like, that's what our Starfire is. I'm not the fact that she's a black woman. I'm just like she's like a I don't know, like she's just like a fucking prostitute. And
they were definitely redeemed her in the second season, and definitely.
I love the actress. She was pretty. I just wish they wouldn't have presented her that way. Like,
yeah, I kind of guess
she uses her sexuality a lot in the first season.
In the first season, definitely, but they definitely redeemed her character in the second season, and she definitely redeems herself in these first 3 episodes.
Because like Starfire and all the animated like Teen Titans and even Teen Titans Go, which is a kid show, like she's like an alien. She's so like she doesn't know, like our human, like way of living and stuff like that. I don't know, like so that's kind of what a big turn off for me. Raven, I liked Raven.
Now again, this one is starting off really strong, but they can always take a turn for the worse, because that's what they did in season 2. Like the big thing in season 2 was like, oh, we're gonna get Deathstroke. Deathstroke's gonna come out in it, and he was like pretty much barely in it, and then they just like kill him off really quick. Like I was very disappointed with that.
So if you guys have noticed, or if you're listening to us on audio, we just cracked open another beer, and this is a beer we've had on the show a long time ago. If you're fans of old school, this is the Amber Ale from Thirsty Planet. It is the Thirsty Goat. It comes in at 6.8. It only has an IBU of 30. It's not that bad, but it's a delicious Amber Ale. It's like I said, it's 6.8, so it's pretty high up there. You have a 6-pack of these, and it's gonna get you going. So, highly recommend this. But that red ale, and then drinking this afterwards, it's going down so good.
It goes down really good. So to kind of go back into Titans, it like I said, it's definitely starting off really strong. We're definitely getting a lot more of Superboy and Krypton, the dog.
Wow! Whoa, what?
Yeah.
What?
Rachel left because of something that happened in the last season, but the character is supposed to be in season 3. It's just
talking about Rachel. You're talking about
Raven.
Raven, okay.
Yeah, and I'm hoping this season we're gonna get Beast Boy turning more than just a tiger, because that's pretty much all he would turn into. But like they've been teasing, like, because he's been looking at other animals. It's like, oh, if you put your mind to it, you could do it.
He's all like, I want to have the budget for this.
So yeah, but I mean, at least I could see him at least doing maybe like a gorilla or. Like something else. I don't know about the elephant. I know in the cartoons he's always like turned into an elephant, but yeah, that would be a little too much. But I mean, at least like a gorilla, that would still be pretty badass. You know, because that's another one that he's kind of gone to and would So yeah, not Teen Titans, but Titans starting out pretty good. I like it. Just not a big fan of the actor that's playing Red Hood when he takes off the mask, but but other than that, it's really good, freaking badass. I like the way they introduced him. It was just like in the cartoon where he gets the heads of the people that run the streets or whatever, throws a bag full of heads.
Yeah. So. Because I know one of the biggest complaints I had from I think it was the first season, was that the first season ended heavily on Batman. Batman was like, one of it always seemed like they're like, what's the first season or like second season?
No, I want to say the second season ended heavily with Batman, because in the second season we didn't get, Dick Grayson was still trying to figure himself out too, and it wasn't until the last episode where he finally took on the mantle of Nightwing. Okay,
so my question is, in this so far what you've seen, like, cause
the first season ended heavily on Raven and her dad, and then the first episode of season 2 they killed him. It's like, really? That was dumb.
So obviously Red Hood is, in Under the Red Hood, he's Batman's villain. Is it still heavily implied that he's still a Batman villain, or he's a Titans villain?
He's a Titans villain in this one for sure.
Because I remember, there
was big speculations too, because obviously in the comics and in the animated show, it was Joker who killed Jason Todd, and Jason Todd being resurrected from the Lazarus pit from Ra's al Ghul. They do mention Ra's al Ghul, but that's not how he gets resurrected in this one. They don't know how yet, but that's not how he did. I apologize.
So it's all from different, I guess everything.
What else? And then it was like, we're gonna get the Joker in this one because Joker was really teased in the trailers, and you'll be just as disappointed as you were in Suicide Squad, if not even more.
So they do have him in the show.
Somewhat.
Obviously I love the Joker, but at some point you just got to stop.
Yeah, and with the way Titans is going too, they're really pushing onto these characters themselves and kind of making everyone else a foreshadow of for these characters. But they do mention them and stuff like that. But
do you know if Harley Quinn season 3 is out on HBO Max?
No, it's not yet.
Okay, I'm just wondering. I still got to catch up on season 2. I'm halfway through. I got to finish it. But yeah, no, I was just wondering about that. But well, since speaking of Harley Quinn and we're in the DC universe, the Suicide Squad, not Suicide, the Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. For those of you who don't know, James Gunn is the director who directed Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So he has a good track record of bringing characters to life that you really wouldn't have thought of being on a big screen
or even known of.
Yeah, known of. Nobody knew about I didn't know about Guardians. I didn't know who the hell Guardians was. I just remember seeing that trailer. I'm like, there's a fucking tree and a raccoon. That's Bradley Cooper. That's Vin Diesel. We got Andy from Parks and Rec and Gamora. I'm just like, what the hell's going on? And then they end up being some of the most beloved characters in the MCU thanks to James Gunn. So of course, James Gunn's come back for Guardians 3, but not before he finishes the Suicide Squad. And for those of you who don't know, this is not a sequel whatsoever to 2016's Suicide Squad, directed by David Ayers. Even though there are
it technically isn't a sequel, but it kind of felt like it, only in the sense that you don't get that whole big old introduction of who everybody is, and
oh yeah,
you know.
definitely not. The way I like to think about it is like maybe it may not be a sequel. It's just another team. That's the way I think about it. It's just another team.
And definitely going to be spoilers here. So if
Yes.
you have not seen the Suicide Squad, go watch it now. It's available on HBO Max. I don't know for another 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah,
week and a half?
I think so. So yeah, I mean, so going into this after because I mean, feel how you will about Suicide Squad. This is something completely different, and tone wise, just this movie is batshit crazy, like just crazy. And the thing is, like when this movie was first coming out, people were like hyping it up. They're like, "Oh, this is, oh, James Gunn knocked it out of the park. This movie is so amazing. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It's just so wacky. It's so
It was
good.
like
Oh my god,
how much percent certified Rotten Tomatoes?
if you want to, if you want to ask this guy, I say it was overhyped.
I can see that. I
I say it was way overhyped. No, I'm not saying the movie was bad. I enjoyed the movie. I loved the movie. But
definitely some.
it wasn't as, like I said, like people were like,
characters.
"Oh, this is the best thing ever." Like, no, it's not. It's really not. It's silly. It's wacky.
I was gonna say, let's put it this way: it was still silly, just like the first one, if not even more. And you could definitely tell James Gunn was just having fun with this.
Yeah, because
Not trying to make it a joke, but he was definitely trying to have fun with it and not make it as serious as like the first one was trying to go for.
if people are gonna say like, "Oh, this is way better than the first one," I mean, yeah, okay, it's better, but it's still equally as ridiculous. Like it's think about the first one. The first one had Cara Delevingne doing the stupid dance, with the fucking thing going in the sky and these
Let's
creatures.
just say that both villains and both were
are ridiculous.
Yeah,
like, they're ridiculous. Like, but in this movie, James Gunn, he knew what he was doing, as opposed to, unfortunately, David Ayer. Who apparently he shot a certain movie, because I mean, we all saw that very first trailer from Comic-Con and for Suicide Squad, and it had a dark tone to it, and then the studio just went in and kind of butchered it. Now, I know what he shot. It probably, he had a vision to it, but it probably wasn't the best thing. But again, the movie that he shot wasn't the movie that we got.
Need to take a quick break because I got to change some batteries out real quick. So we're going to take a quick break. So we'll be right back, and we'll be talking a lot more about Suicide Squad. So we'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are here. More beer, more geeking out and shit. So we're just had to take a quick break, get some things and whatever, all good.
Get some new batteries for the recorder.
I love this camera, man. I love the fact that we don't have to pause every 30 minutes. Remember that?
Yeah. Okay. Hurry up! Come on, say what you gotta say.
Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, like I said, we were just getting into the Suicide Squad, thoughts and everything.
Spoilers.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, again, like I said, like Steven just said, we're doing spoilers, so there's there are some spoilers in this. If you want to know, fine, whatever. You don't want to know, watch the movie, whatever. Just what we do. We're not doing a non-spoiler bullshit. Enough of that. Grow up already.
Okay, so for this portion of the conversation, I just want to jump right into it. What's up?
Bottle opener.
Oh, I was like, what? So I want to just jump straight up into it. When we said we were going to talk about this, I kind of was, trying to come up with like a rating system to compare and contrast, or pretty much compare the two movies. So I just kind of want to get like an overall character wise. So like pretty much, let's just start off right now. Let's just go straight into it, villain wise. I know we both said they're both ridiculous. They're both way out there.
This one made more sense. In a way, as much sense as you can make of this situation. Starro made more sense as opposed to an ancient being that's just molding people together and doing a stupid little dance. Like, well, she said, we're trying to turn them machines. I don't know what the fuck she was saying. Honestly, like, it was dumb. It was dumb. This was dumb too, but it was dumb in a way like that was more creepy. Because in the other one, like, she would, like, touch people and, like, make them her minions. In this one, you had the fucking starfish turn them into basically zombies.
Well, zombies, but basically him, because he was...
Yeah, because he was talking speaking through them, which I thought was cool. And also the fact that it's basically zombies because they're dead.
And he made me feel sorry for him.
Oh, he's always just floating around in space.
Because I love the view of the stars.
yeah. So yeah, villain wise, the Suicide Squad.
Okay, did he redeem himself or not? Rick Flag, the actor Joel Kinnaman.
Joel Kinnaman. Definitely. 100%. He did. You'll cut and run. Not that he wasn't a bad character, but it's just like in this one, he was more a Suicide Squad member as opposed to somebody who was just in charge of them.
Oh, I'm stuck with these assholes.
Yeah, like, so this one, like, he has a rapport with Harley Quinn. He has a rapport with Boomerang. He has oh no, he didn't remember Boomerang in this one, but he has a rapport with Bloodsport, which, by the way, is not Will Smith's character Deadshot. So
even though they're similar,
yeah, they're very similar, but. We'll get to that later. But yeah, Rick Flag's character 100% redeemed himself. I liked him a lot better in this one. Spoilers, his death did mean something to me. Like in the other one, if he would have died, I really wouldn't give a shit. But in this one, I gave a shit. So yes, I 100% think he redeemed himself in this one. What do you think?
Definitely 100% redeemed himself in this one. I felt I felt the character a lot more in this one than I did in the first one. In the first one, he definitely was just trying to be too serious with the character. Just
way too serious.
Like, I'm just soldier and I gotta, do what you guys.
It's Katana.
It's Katana. She can cut any one of you down with
the swing of a sword. Her blade traps the souls of its victims. Like, shut up.
I would have definitely loved for Katana to come back.
Yeah,
I
think
it would have been a lot fun to see her come back too.
Okay. So another recurring character, Captain Boomerang.
Before we get into that, I just want to say one thing here.
Go ahead.
James Gunn definitely took a book out of Marvel movies in this one. He definitely took a book out, or a page out of Deadpool.
Continue.
And he definitely took a page out of what was the other one? Like there was something real similar that happened in this one that was kind of similar in another Marvel movie. But definitely Deadpool. He definitely took a page out of Deadpool.
As far as what? Like,
so we were getting all these hype that all these characters were going to be in it, this and that. Same thing that we got.
You're talking about Deadpool
that we got in the hype of Deadpool 2 with X-Force.
Why are you going to bury the lead for him? Deadpool 2, yes, definitely Deadpool 2. Yes. A lot of characters being teased. A lot of characters dying in the first 10 fucking minutes, dude. Oh, that was so funny. And granted, like I think a lot of people knew that there were going to be some characters that were going to die instantly because I don't see Pete Davidson as a fucking Suicide Squad member, and the fact that he's the first one to get killed.
He didn't even do anything.
He's just like, oh.
But the thing too that they even teased Michael Rooker, and he was the first one that they showed in the beginning of the fucking movie Like, oh, he looks like he's gonna be a hard ass, and they recruit him, and then like he fucking chicken shit and just run away.
Which I don't know if you caught this, but when they had the trailers, there's a shot of the briefcase, and then there's another shot of the briefcase coming from like coming the opposite way. So it's a briefcase, and the other shot it's the briefcase backwards, and there's a button lit up. So I remember I was looking at the trailer, I'm like, who is that? And I saw that it was him. I'm like, oh shit. He's the one that tries to escape. So when I was like watching him, like I thought he was trying to escape, but no, he gets fucking scared, and I was like, oh shit, okay, all right. And the whole weasel thing.
Did no one confirm that the weasel can swim?
That's so stupid. And then again, like we're going back to it, Captain Boomerang. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna bring Jack Courtney back. Oh, that's cool. Like, cause he was probably one of the best characters in 2006's Suicide Squad. Like, I liked him in that Suicide Squad. I thought he was really good. So like, oh, they're bringing him back, and he's all like talks to Harley, and he's all like, yeah, you know, this and that, like, and then he just fucking
like she even has a nickname for him, Boomer.
Yeah, Boom. Yeah, she calls him Boomer, and just like, oh, that's sweet. And then he just fucking dies at the beginning. I'm like, wow, really? I'm like, oh my god, like, okay, all right. But like,
and how about with fucking Nathan?
Oh my God.
Nathan
No. That shit was the funniest thing of the movie. TDK, what's that stand for? I don't know. He goes, that's my name. He goes, the detachable kid. You're up. His arms fucking detached. I'm like, oh, he's just in the back. He's over here just slapping people. They're like, oh.
And then fucking Harley Quinn's like, he's the detachable kid.
It's so stupid. Like, yeah, I love the fact that he's all like, yeah. And like, even see his bones, like it's like a little doll, like, you know, that little ball that can. I'm like, oh my god, and he's just over here just slapping people, just like, and they start shooting his arms. He's all like in the ground, he goes I'm just like, this is so dumb right now.
That was the first thing that came to mind in my wife's mind was like, because she couldn't think of it. We couldn't think of it at first. We're like, that is just like so similar to, we couldn't think of when. And finally we're like, oh, Deadpool 2 with X-Force.
Dude, yeah, dude. Fucking X-Force. But yeah, and then who else has a funny death in that fucking? So there's
who was the guy with the spear?
Oh, Javelin. He's on take my spear, and he's the dude from Silicon Valley who creates the game that Richard. He's a dude dating the chick that Richard dated. Remember, and he has that village or yeah. So they're at that conference. He goes, oh, this.
It's so fucking silly.
Okay, so
now let's go into
more comparisons.
Yeah. This one's gonna be 3 because there's technically like 3.
Okay.
From the first one, Deadshot, to this one, Bloodsport, and Peacemaker, because they pretty much all had the same fucking abilities.
Yeah.
So let's do
Bloodsport and
let's do Deadshot and Bloodsport first,
because they,
as far as because they pretty much were also like a leader role in both movies.
Yeah. So you got Will Smith, you got Idris Elba, you got both of them in jail, and you got
really good actors,
really good shots apparently, and you got both of them with the daughter. One of them loves his daughter, the other one is like, I'm a shitty dad.
I wish I never had a fucking daughter.
I was like, oh, that's a twist. Okay, cool. I like that. I'd pick Deadshot. Deadshot.
Thank you.
Because I like Bloodsport and everything cool, but the whole thing with his weapons was stupid. I hated that. Taking things off his weapons. And it's like, that's what? Like, that makes no sense to me at all. Deadshot.
The only one thing I liked from him was kind of the slingshot thing he was doing.
Yes, that was cool. I was like, bam, bam. Like, that was fucking cool. But when he started taking stuff off his costume and making a gun, and it kind of reminded me of Tony Stark's nanotech.
Like, see, okay, there you go. That was the other thing. It, everything kind of
just formed itself,
and not only just nanotech, but also with Rocket. You know how Rocket puts together everything, and then everything.
Yeah. So as far as like Deadshot, he actually had the guns. He had everything hidden away, and he was still a fucking good shot. That was cool. This one was just like, I don't know about that. Like,
who had the better mask? Even though, okay, let me paint you a little picture. Even though Bloodsports was kind of little, like all
shield,
black, but then I had the little skull down here.
I don't know, because I think I like Deadshot because it was more comic book accurate. Because I like when he put on, I like when I put this mask on, people die. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, yeah, they do. Like, I think Deadshot. Will Smith knocked it out of the park. Will Smith was probably the star of Suicide Squad.
And if not, maybe the even redeemer of the movie itself.
Yeah, like, I mean, Will Smith, come on, it's Will Smith.
I
love Idris Elba.
Other than the last part where he's just like, it's like,
oh yeah, that's slow.
Yeah, that was dumb, but
yeah,
I think other than that,
yeah, I picked Deadshot.
Yeah, same here.
And as far as John Cena's character, that fucking dude. I love him.
Why are you in your tidy whities? That's racist. What the
fuck? Dude, like, I think people really underestimate John Cena, and like, I don't know where he pulls it. I don't know what the fuck is up with John Cena. Like,
I remember we kind of always not hated him, but we were not like, we never really rooted for him
as far as
wrestling goes, just because I think we were always for the heels,
because he's always like this, like this patriotic dude. Like, first he was thugonomic, now he's like can't see me. I'm just like, okay.
And not only that, but then Marine, because when he did the movie Marine,
and like he looks like a Marine. He has a chiseled jaw, but then like he just going into acting. I'm like, he's not even acting, but then you see him in Trainwreck.
Well, I was gonna say his action movies, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Stupid 2 and Fast 9, are just ridiculous. I cannot take him serious in that. But comedic wise, dude, this guy is fucking hilarious. And cock blockers, dude.
Yeah,
he's fucking.
Yeah. But even in Trainwreck, he goes, "I look like Mark Wahlberg ate Mark Wahlberg." Like, shut the fuck up! Like, you're so stupid. But in this one, and the fact, not only that is he good in this movie, but he went the extra mile as to show up to the premiere and show up to interviews dressed as Peacemaker. I'm like, that's commitment. Like, this fucking dude.
I saw the one that with him and Margot Robbie and
when she's talking about wrestling, he goes.
And how like her boyfriend at the time had that cut out.
So I saw that dude. I was fucking laughing. I'm like, this dude is stupid, but I love him. So I give John Cena an A+. And at first, because it was announced before this movie came out that James Gunn is helping produce a Peacemaker original series for HBO Max.
See, I remember that he was going to be involved in something, like he was going to have a spin-off of his own. And then going into watching the movie, I totally forgot. I was like, oh shit, John Cena died.
Yeah.
But then when, end credit comes and it's like,
yeah, he's still alive. I'm like, okay. Like, I would love to see a show with John Cena. Like, I'm guilty. I'm in it. I'm all the way in it. So yeah, John Cena, I think he was good in this fucking movie. He can suck all the dicks on the beach. It's fine. Okay, what else?
Why would there be so many penises?
Ratcatcher 2? I love that too. I was like, because in the beginning they're like, oh, this is Ratcatcher 2. I'm like, so the whole time I'm thinking, like, 2? What's the 1 at? And then, like, the whole time, I'm like...
No, they were like... John Cena was like, what, you couldn't afford Ratcatcher 1? And they're like, no, he's dead. Like, oh, okay.
And then to find out that who it was Taika Waititi playing... Because the whole time, I was like, where the fuck is Taika Waititi? I'm like, oh, he's Ratcatcher 1. And then he had probably one of the most, like, genuine scenes in the movie. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that. That's cool. Like, that's a nice...
And I like that's 2 Marvel people that they had in there.
Yeah, because Sylvester Stallone...
3 Marvel. And okay, so I'm gonna do a compare and contrast, but I'm gonna do a Marvel and a DC here.
Mm-hmm.
Groot.
Oh my god.
Or Shark King,
dude. That's hard. That goes the mustache. No, that's Shark King all the way. Shark King, dude. Like, if I had to pick Shark King, because I don't know, like. He's just... I love the part... oh, new dumb friends. He's like, ooh. I'm like, oh my god, that's so stupid. Like, and the fact that too that not only was he just like he was goofy and stuff, but he was strong like the Hulk. Like he was that strong, and I'm just like, wow, like, and he even survived.
So that's two things from Marvel right there too. Shark King references Hulk and Groot.
Yeah.
And you could possibly even say Hulk in itself too.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I still say Shark King is James Gunn's Groot because I mean
I mean,
the people that he brings to do these voices, you know, fucking Vin Diesel to do Groot, and then fucking Sylvester Stallone. And he even like put in an interview too, or put out there that he specifically wrote Shark King for Sylvester Stallone.
So stupid. Dude. Num so dumb. I love it. Okay, so here's I guess probably like the most major thing. Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
Okay, so let's talk about that because
This is the third time we've had her.
third time from the get-go. I mean, Margot Robbie is probably the trying to think here, maybe like the second or third person to reprise a role in DC that, because we've had Ben Affleck reprise it in Batman vs Superman. Well, he was Batman vs Superman, Justice League, and I don't know if you want to count
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, you know, as a cameo.
He was in there.
Then you have Henry Calvin, you know, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League. So, you know, this is like the third actor to reprise a role in
And
the
even at
DC
that,
universe.
this is the only actor/actress that is still in that role.
Yes.
Because Henry Cavill, I mean, we don't know he's Superman. Batman, I mean, Ben Affleck, we had rumors that he's coming back as Flash, but we don't even know. But, like, I think her character has progressed so much from Suicide Squad, which, like, it put her on the map.
Yeah, I was gonna say pretty much from the get go of Suicide Squad, she pretty much nailed Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I think she, other than Will Smith, she was also the second leading role in that movie that also even like took, you know, like fucking took the movie, you know, like she could have, you know, carried the movie in herself.
She is Harley Quinn.
In
right?
which she ended up carrying a movie in herself.
Yeah.
Birds of Prey.
And like this whole thing, like people were like, oh, well, I mean, she was like over sexualized in the first. I'm like, okay, all right, okay, fine, whatever. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't, but regardless of that, she's progressed as a character. Like from Birds of Prey, we've seen her go through a whole storyline.
And I still like. I think Birds of Prey is, you know, one of, you know, if not an underrated movie, and was, you know, one of the good ones.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Excuse me if I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Back into the conversation. So we're just talking about Harley Quinn. Yeah, man. From her going to 2016 Suicide Squad till 2019 Birds of Prey.
18 or 19.
And then from going to this movie, like, and honestly, like she had her own little kind of, I guess, subplot in this movie, but it wasn't. It like, I don't know. It didn't just. I don't know. It was weird. Like,
Oh shit, 2020.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
Okay, 2020. Okay, yeah.
Well, you know, it was early 2020 before.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, from her going to from Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey into the Suicide Squad, and she's still the same character. Like, I don't know, man. Like she's probably like other than I mean, she's probably the main standout in this movie. Like, I loved her. I loved her.
If anything, she portrays a character really well and has been doing it and has been getting better at it.
Yeah.
Throughout, you know, through movies she's been doing.
And even in that, like, you know, like this movie is rated R.
So was Birds of Prey.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, remember? Because it was very violent.
Oh, okay. Nice. But in this one,
Yeah,
like,
Birds of Prey was rated R because I mean, remember fucking what's the guy's name? Black
Skull?
Mass.
Oh,
Black
Black
Mass is
Mask, yeah.
but his
oh,
what was his name?
oh, don't, Zaz.
Yeah,
Zaz.
you know how he kills the family and everything.
Yes,
and-
you're right. But in this one, like, there's one scene where she's like has a fight scene, and like, initially when you watch it, you're like, oh, they're just kind of covered. No, this is what she sees in her mind when she's cutting up people. She doesn't see blood; she sees the flowers. Yeah. I'm like, that was fucking genius. Like, that was so cool. I love that scene because I remember in the trailers they showed the scene where she's running, the flowers fly up. I'm like, what's going on there? So when you actually see it in context, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a tattoo.
I think
right here.
I think that's one thing that James Gunn does really well in his movies, especially from Guardians of the Galaxy to this one, is the colors he uses. He uses very
Yes.
vivid. I don't want to say vivid, maybe like bright colors and but
vibrant colors,
yeah, but and it still works.
Yeah, and and
I know there was some stuff too with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, and this one was that certain tattoos were changed and certain tattoos were missing.
Yeah, definitely a lot of them were missing from from her from Suicide Squad and everything. And again,
and from Birds of Prey.
And again, and it goes to, same thing. Like, we saw the Joker, the same Joker in Justice League, and he had none of the tattoos. So you just kind of just forgive it, like people
forgive it and just use your imagination. Like, oh, they got them removed, or something happened, and
just stop being like, you hate it so much. Now it's gone. Like, why are you complaining about it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people just find something to complain about, which is whatever. You live your life complaining. I'm not gonna live my life that way. Like, I love this. I love Harley Quinn. Like, she was amazing in this movie.
Now, there is one thing that James Gunn was not aware of, and I don't know if this is like either arrogance in directors or if or if they just don't. I don't know. But one thing he didn't know was that Harley Quinn had already had her own movie. He didn't know about Birds of Prey.
What?
Yeah, I was reading an article that he had said, like, I never knew that there was a Harley Quinn movie, the Birds of Prey movie. I was
wow, James Gunn.
I was like, really? Like, how do you not know that?
That was probably one of the biggest movies.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know about that.
But you see, there are, like, directors out there that are like, oh, they already had a movie? Like, I wasn't aware of it, Like, okay, for instance, like, and, I'm not saying that he's big-headed, but when Kevin Smith wrote Zack and Miri, he specifically wrote that movie for Seth Rogen when he saw him in 40-Year-Old Virgin. And he didn't know that he already had his own movie when he did Knocked Up.
So kind of like that whole, like, schlub kind of getting the hot girl type of movie. Okay, I don't know. That just seems real... I don't know the word to say it, like, up your own ass, I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe that's how directors think. I mean, maybe we're different because we're the consumer. I don't know. Like, but Birds of Prey, that was a pretty big movie. And that was a pretty big movie because it had an all-female lead, and, it did pretty good. It was loved, loved better than Suicide Squad, at least. So, I don't know. But, I mean, either way, the Suicide Squad, I mean, like I said, going into it, I thought it was way overhyped because people were like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Oh, James Gunn is knocking it out of the park. Oh, man, he's a game changer. I'm like, okay, calm down. It's not that good. It's good. It's really good. It's not that good, though. Like, it's not game-changing. It's just another James Gunn movie. Just like Guardians was. I put this as high up there as Guardians because it's what it is. And do I hope that they make, like, a sequel or anything? No. I really hope they don't. I hope they don't.
Well, maybe not. Okay, again, because I kind of still see this one as a sequel in some sorts, but not in a way. But I wish they continue on with the Suicide Squad, but just continue on. Don't even, maybe not reference so much like the others. You know what I'm saying?
We forgot somebody else. Amanda Waller,
Oh yeah.
Viola Davis.
Okay, well let's do this real quick. Who was your favorite Harley Quinn? Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, or the Suicide Squad?
The Suicide Squad. I had to say, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Birds of Prey with this one.
It's I want to say Birds of Prey, but I guess because Suicide Squad is so fresh in my mind, it's what I think about. But Birds of Prey, it's a very close second because like that was all about her. It was like you like
Now, which fight scene did she have the best one in? Because she did have a really good fight scene with the bikers in Birds of Prey.
oh yeah. Well, all the cocaine, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then she had the real cool fight scene with all the soldiers in the Suicide Squad. I think the Suicide Squad fight was like way fucking badass because she's just like there shooting and then like doing her, her moves, and everything, breaking arms.
I don't know.
Slicing.
I love that. I love that scene in Birds of Prey where she gets the cocaine. She's like, ooh, like I'm just like, ooh, like she's crazy. Like I don't know, man. Like I said again, because it's probably fresh in my mind. The Suicide Squad. Like I just love that whole flower thing. Like that she's that crazy enough to like I'm gonna slash people and I'm gonna see flowers. Like that captured her really good. And as far as Amanda Waller, because Amanda Waller, Viola Davis is probably one of the best things about Suicide Squad 2016. Like she was menacing, she was evil, like she was scary, and she did not skip a beat in this one. She was the exact same way. Like she don't give a fuck. Like she's gonna do what needs to be done, and even like Bloodshot holding a pin up, she's all like, "What are you gonna do?" Like ooh, like it's like man, she's menacing. Like she did not skip a beat at all in this fucking movie. I thought she was amazing in this movie. Viola Davis is an Academy award-winning actress, and the fact that they got her in these 2 superhero movies that are just ridiculous and just like that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, man. I mean,
All right, team wise, which one?
team. As far as characters go, damn, dude, I loved
Because you gotta think, in both movies, they did pick characters that even people were not too familiar with.
Yes, of course. Damn it, because there are like some hit or misses. Like I could deal with the 2016 team because they were good characters, but the whole Killer Croc, I did not like Killer Croc.
Really, I thought he was pretty cool.
I thought he was cool. I just didn't like his design. Like I thought he could have been more CG.
Killer Crocky.
Yeah. like King Shark. He was an actual shark. I like the 2016 one characters better. These characters in the Suicide Squad and this new one were so out of left field. Polka Dot Man, even though he was probably one of the best characters in the movie, we're gonna die. I hope so. like, and I love but it was also silly just seeing his mom's face and everything.
Even when he was fucking in the club.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. Like, and I love the actors and everything. I love Ratcatcher too. But if I had to pick a team, I would have picked Suicide Squad 2016's team.
They could have just lightened up a little bit more.
Yeah, they could have just not been so serious. Yeah.
Why so serious?
Yeah, he can't cut and run. Yeah, I would have picked the 2006 David Ayer's team. Mainly also too because I mean, yeah, say what you will about him, but the Joker was in that one, so that's like a big thing for me.
Here's one thing I did like about this team in the Suicide Squad was that, yeah, even though they were, a team and they had this mission, but they weren't a team. For instance, Peacemaker had his own mission.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, from what the rest of the team had and from what Rick Flag was, supposed to do. And that's what I like because that's what the Suicide Squad is. They're not none of them can be trusting. None of them can trust each other, but yet they have to trust each other. So I guess that's why I'm gonna go with the Suicide Squad's team, is because I think they were good, but they were still not
misleaded, I guess, or
not misleaded, but like, they were still malfunctioned. They still weren't there together.
Yeah,
but even though they were together. You know what I'm trying to say.
That is a good argument. Like I said, like my way of thinking, just like I just like the characters, like El Diablo and everything else. Like like it is like I'm really like biting the bullet here.
I think other than Harley Quinn, I think Captain Boomerang was another kind of comic relief in Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
when it's like when Rick Flag, smashes the computer. He can't blow him up no more, and he just like takes his beers and runs, and it's like, then he comes back.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, like, and it was Will Smith's part of your team, like for those people out there who are like, oh, you can't compare it. No. You gotta compare, like
you really could, because we are right now.
Yeah, like there's no way of not comparing. Like you have to. Like I'm sorry, like you just have to. Like you got one movie that came out, people were hyped for it, and it didn't do as good. And you got another movie that came out that was not as hyped up, but people loved it. And you just have to compare it. And like each one has its good merits. This one has better, and this one has its parts, but it also started Harley Quinn, so it's just like, to each its own. But I definitely love the Suicide Squad. And the whole part, like, oh, and like he put Batman in the ICU. I'm like, oh, he put Superman in the ICU. I'm like,
with the kryptonite bullet.
I'm like, when was this? When the fuck was this? Superman is doing all well. He's fine. He came back from the dead. He's okay, whatever. And the other one, like, oh, if Superman whipped off the roof of who's gonna save him? Like, really, you gonna trust these people to save him? Because they're Suicide Squad. Like again, like you said, like they're supposed to be dysfunctional.
There you go. Yeah. That was the word I was looking for. Dysfunctional.
So like that for that reason, the Suicide Squad is really good. I don't know, man. If I had to pick between two of them, it's gonna be the Suicide Squad. I mean, I even got Joker tattooed from Suicide Squad, but I mean, I feel like we're saying Suicide Squad a lot.
Suicide
Squad. But I mean, I loved it. I loved it for what it was, and like I said, it might be a little overhyped, but it was fun. I loved it. I had a lot of fun watching it. I laughed. I didn't cry. I didn't cry in the other one, but I laughed more in this one than in the other one, but I also saw the other one more than I did this one. So, I don't know. I just love stupid shit.
And that's our take on the Suicide Squad.
Yes, sir.
So,
but before we, log off.
Before we log off or anything, just a few other things I want to talk about.
Yes, let's do it.
We got a lot of other stuff coming out that I'm super psyched for. We just saw the trailer for What We Do in the Shadows season 3. That fucking looks fucking hilarious.
I think I've seen both seasons. I got to go back and watch them.
I think the second season is obviously the funniest one. I mean, the first one was funny as it was, but I mean, it was still developing. And then you get into the second season, it's just like, oh my god!
And then you have to ask yourself too, like, do people even know what this is from?
No, not really.
I don't think a lot of people know where this is from. Like, have you even seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yes, I've seen. I finally saw the movie. Yes, I have seen it.
Okay, thank God. But yeah, like I just don't think a lot of people know what this came from. So I want to rewatch the first 2 seasons just to get a little refresher. But the 3rd season looked hilarious. You still got Colin Robinson, who's like probably like the best character. and then you just got the vampires who just like they don't fucking know how to live in this society. It's just funny. Like, we also got a trailer for Star Wars Visions, which is an anime.
So that's what that was supposed to be then, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
And the thing is, it's from what I saw, because I when I clicked on the video, it said English dub trailer. So I'm like, is this gonna be in all Japan, like Japanese? I'm like,
Well, no, because they did. There was like a short movie, not movie, kind of like something like there was a little short of an anime of in Star Wars, but with the TIE fighter and this and that, and I think that's what kind of sparked it. I want to say that's what sparked it. I'm not sure if that's what it was, but that that kind of did spark it, and I think that's kind of where they went from there. And so yeah, so like Eddie was saying, it's a new animation. It's
I guess
seven animators.
I guess you can say an anthology series, right?
Because it put on there 9 stories.
Yeah, each episode, or I mean, yeah, it's gonna be 9 different stories.
I think it said 7 animators, 9 stories. And it looked really good. I mean,
the animation itself is strictly anime.
I don't think anything's gonna be canon, but I think it's just pretty much like what it said.
It's Disney Plus, so it has to be canon.
Well, I think what it also puts on there is just Visions. It's Star Wars Visions, and I think
so it's kind of like What If.
I think they put Visions on there. Just it's a possibility. Yeah, and it could be that What If.
It's just like Star Wars version of What If. It's just Visions, I can see that, but
speaking of What If, What If came out last week, and the first episode was Agent or Captain Carter, or Captain, I don't know what you want to call it. And then this next episode that's supposed to be coming out next is going to be the T'Challa. What if T'Challa was Star-Lord?
Yeah. So what do you think about the first episode? It was okay. So for those who don't know, What If is a series, just to tackle different possibilities.
What if Steve Rogers didn't take the super serum and Agent Carter did?
Yeah. So in this one, Agent Carter takes the super soldier serum. She's a woman, and blah blah blah, and she becomes, she gets the power super soldier serum. Steve is still alive, and he's in a fucking Iron Man suit type of thing.
That was the only thing I didn't like.
So what did you think about the whole thing in general?
I thought it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. The only thing I didn't like was just the fact that Howard Stark is the one that came up with the iron suit. Like, no, because I don't know. I just don't think that's the way it would have turned out. But again, that's the what if. That's the what if about it. That's exactly what this is supposed to do.
Did you catch all the jokes in it?
Yes.
Where Bucky Barnes are like, "Oh, you always ripped off my arm."
Yeah.
I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, I actually laughed when I saw that. The animation for me is throwing me off, way off. There are some parts where the animation, like as far as the lighting, is really good, and there are other parts where they just look like Disney characters, like with the wide eyes. And there's a part where they show. The other part where they show Steve Rogers like wide eyes, I'm like, this looks like a fucking Disney like thing. But there are also parts where there's one part where she's standing in front of a truck with the headlights flashing, and she's like throwing the shield back and forth. I'm like, that's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. Some of the lighting in the show is really good, but some of the animation to me is just it throws me off because I'm just like, I don't know about that. But I enjoyed it. The first episode. I'm honestly more just eager to watch the rest of it. Like this whole T'Challa episode. I know it's this is gonna be Chadwick Boseman's I guess last performance in the MCU because it's gonna be his voice. And in this episode we have Haley Atwell, we have Sebastian Stan, we have Stanley Tucci, we have we didn't get Chris Evans. Some other guy is voicing Captain America.
We didn't get
Tommy Lee Jones.
Batista. Somebody else is gonna voice Drax.
Oh really? I don't know about that. Yeah, like there's I know we also got a Dominic. What's his name? Dominic, who plays Howard Stark. Dominic something, but the same guy who played him in the movie did his voice in the show. I mean, that's cool. Like I said, like I liked it. Just the animation to me was just a little off.
Okay, I can get that. I can get it. I can dig.
But it was mostly just in their faces because it just looked really Disney-fied, like the big eyes and like the goofiness. You know, like I just wanted more of a like a kind of a realistic, kind of raw feeling to it. Like so, there were some parts, you know, like I said, there was one, like I said, that one scene, like she's in front of the truck and the headlights are flashing, and she's just throwing the shield back and forth, and you know, like she's kicking ass. I'm like, that's fucking cool. And there's one part where she's like, where her and Steve Rogers are flying through the sky, and then she jumps off, and then like she like goes to the planes, and she like attacks the planes with her shield and everything, and then she jumps off, and she's just flying, and then she just like casually just jumps right back on Steve. I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like, hell yeah. And then you get the last scene where like, you know, it's reversed as opposed to Steve going into ice. It's her going into a portal. And
From the Tesseract.
Yeah, and she you owe me a dance, and we'll see you Saturday. And
that was one thing that bothered me because he kept talking about that.
The dance.
Shit.
The dance. Like, we get it. Even the dance.
So last thing I want to talk about real quick. This is something I've been wanting to talk to you about because I know how you felt about the first movie. Oh God. Venom. Let there be carnage. I've been waiting for this one.
She got pushed back again?
Yeah.
Got pushed back like a week and everything, making a big fucking deal about it. I'm like, it's a week. Relax. Like, calm the fuck down.
It got pushed back, but what else is coming out that day?
Everything else.
No, there was something big that was coming out that day. I think Dune or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Dune. I think Dune and, yeah, dude. I don't know, but yeah, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Why? What? Okay, what is it about? What is it about Venom? Because I know, I mean, I was psyched about. Oh no! It's Halloween Kills comes out that weekend.
Oof. If you're asking me what I'm going to go see first, obviously Halloween.
I'm going to go see Venom, sorry.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I can't give you a legitimate... Have you seen that trailer?
Yes, I did not like it.
It looks so weird.
I didn't care for it.
A little lamb with the head. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, yeah, Venom. Dude, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess they look fine as far as visual effects. I'm just like, where is this gonna go? Like,
okay,
because
did you see the trailer?
Yeah,
you didn't catch the part because I really thought you were gonna say something about the part where he goes, "Oh shit, it's the red one," and he runs or doesn't run, but he like.
I thought that was funny.
Goes back.
I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, "Oh shit, it's a red one." I'm like, that's pretty fucking funny, but like. I don't know, like, I'm just like, where is this gonna go? Like, because I know, like, Tom Hardy and, like, Sony really want this Venom to meet Spider-Man, but, like, Marvel's just like, nah, bro, like, I don't know, dude, like.
Nah, bro. But,
like,
but that's the thing, though. Marvel still hasn't full control over Spider-Man yet.
But if this is what Sony is doing with Venom and Carnage, and just like that's such a throwaway. Like, I just feel like this is such a throwaway movie. Like, and I hate to say it because it's Andy Serkis directing it. And then at that too, like we all saw Venom, and the last scene is fucking Woody Harrelson with his stupid ass little wig, with the curly hair.
Well, he doesn't have that in this one.
He doesn't have this one. No, he doesn't have this one. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, the one part I did like in the trailer was like, he's like, I tasted blood, and that's not blood, and then that's how he becomes Carnage. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. And then he got Screech. You know, she's over here like screaming out and shit. I I don't know. Like the first one was fine. The second one might be fine, but I just
hope that whatever they're showing us is not what we're really gonna get.
I honestly think that's because they just showed him. They showed him turning into Carnage. I'm like, I thought we were gonna say that for the fucking movie. Like,
I mean, well, they always gotta put Carnage in the trailer. You know, they gotta, you know, that he's in the fucking title.
They could have done it a little subtly though. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna see it. Obviously, I'll probably the same thing as Venom. I'll wait till it comes out on VOD and I'll watch it then. Like,
I'm gonna go watch it in theater for sure.
I know you will because you own own Symbiote comic books.
But why am I gonna go see fucking Halloween Kills? It's the same fucking thing all over again, dude.
Yeah,
same goddamn thing. Like, I'm not gonna go see Halloween Kills. I'd rather fucking watch Venom, Let There Be Carnage, than Halloween Kills, and I'll just wait for Halloween Kills.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, because honestly, me too. I was really disappointed with the last Halloween movie, so I'm like, fuck this.
You were disappointed. You were like hyping it up, and you were like, dude, you gotta go see it. It's really good. And it's like,
what? No, I was fucking pissed off about that movie.
You told me like, you need to see it.
I was pissed off. Go back to our episode. Fast forward. Okay, now we're back. Hey, you see how I was pissed off about it? No. I hated that movie, dude. I fucking hated it. I was so disappointed. I was like sitting in the movie theater. I'm like, really? This guy's asleep next to me. And like, what the? Like, I don't know. Like, I could ready to give two shits about Venom. I'm sorry.
And I can give two shits about Halloween.
But, I mean, I'll see it.
Yeah, I'll see it. I will. Eventually.
I'm going to watch Dune first. I'm really excited about Dune.
But, yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
And there's that whole part with that Venom trailer. He goes like, and he's like sees his ex-wife. He goes, and he punches her boyfriend and just like runs away. I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Are we doing this?
We are definitely doing this. Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, I got an awesome new haircut.
How about you show me your tattoo and other than that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta. There you go. Yeah. Bam.
Whoa. There you go.
Compliments of Slim Zink. Hit him up.
Hit him up.
Yeah, that was the episode. I'm pretty sure it was a long one, but I mean, he had lots of stuff to talk about. So, it's fun. Check out Venom. Check out Game of Thrones. Check out
Bad Batch, The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I gotta
Ted
catch up on Bad Batch.
September 2nd is when the third season of What We Do in the Shadows comes out. Check out the new episodes of Titan Season 3 with the Red Hood. It's really good.
And check out these beers. Put the camera on the beers. You got the Red Ale. You got
Thirsty Goat.
They're really good. Just check them out. All right? Fuck it. Thirsty Planet. You know? We're drinking beer here. We're having fun. Don't be so fucking serious about everything. And just be nice to one another. Like, fucking everything's so... everything's so... You know, this is kind of what we do with the show about. I just want to just have fun and, you know, talk shit and, you know, hang out with the brothers, you know? That's what we do.
Well, us brothers. We're missing one brother.
Yeah, he's out riding bikes right now.
Lame.
Yeah, guys. So if you guys are not following us on Instagram, go follow us. I know we haven't really been posting a lot lately, but we'll get back onto it. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Anchor app. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, subscribe to us. Share with your friends. Everybody who loves these comic movies, everybody who loves beer.
We're still figuring out Apple Podcasts, but yeah, everything else.
I'm not sure, but we have to check that out. But for sure on Spotify, it's free. You can listen to podcasts for free on Spotify. Just download the app. Don't be a dick. You have a lot of apps on your phone. I bet you have Whisper on your phone. Delete that app. I bet you have Bumble and Humble and
I don't know what he's talking about, but hey,
cheers everybody, and we see you guys next time. Let's peek out and let's drink.